Good morning, Mr. Ibrahim.
Good morning, Mr. Khalid.
Have you heard about the new government tax deduction?
No, I haven't. Can you give me a brief about it?
Well, I can hand you these papers. The government laid an offer that say that if our company expands or build a new factory in one of the two locations, they would make us a tax deduction.
I think that's great, but what do you think about it?
I think it's a great opportunity for our company to decrease the expenses and increase the demand. In the Upper Egypt, especially with the second coronavirus hit, nowadays people fight the virus by detergents.
Yeah, that sounds just about right. I will get in contact with our consultants and then get back to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. So, we're looking into how to do that according to multiple factors.
Sure, sir. I'd like you to tell me a brief about them.
Well, we are trying to choose a new factory location in either Asyut or Minya. We also need to know the recommended size for that factory based on the needed capacity. As for the production cycle, we want to know the optimal product mix for our three products in order to maximize our revenues. We also need to select a new supplier and allocate managers to the factory's positions. For the truck rotation, we need to acknowledge the routes in order to obtain the minimum distance possible. We also want to make a new ads campaign on TV for the factory's products and forecast the demand for both locations. Finally, we need a break-even analysis for each product line and thus a final decision based on those mentioned factors.
Yes, of course, sir. Me and my team will be working on that and we'll come back to you shortly. Thank you.
Good morning, Abdelrahman and Rowan. This right here is our CEO, Mr. Khalid, and we just have a bunch of questions about your case study.
Good morning, Mr. Ibrahim. Good morning, Mr. Khalid. We are very glad to be working with you and we are ready to answer all of your questions.
Morning, gentlemen. This is such a great opportunity to work with you and for your company to benefit from our services. And we would like to meet your expectations.
I would like to know what's the recommended decision and why did you choose it?
Well, sir, our recommended facility location is Al Safa Industrial Zone in Asyut. We chose this location according to the criteria Mr. Ibrahim had given us earlier.
According to facility location, there was a shortage in supply, so we had to choose a medium-sized factory. We chose this medium-sized factory to cover the number of boxes needed, which is 10K per factory.
Well, according to the feedback that you've given me, there's only a shortage of 6,900 boxes. So why didn't you just go for a small sized factory?
Well, sir, when we worked with a small factory size, the transportation cost actually exceeded your company's budget of 760,000 Egyptian pounds. So thus, we were forced to use a medium size which covered just below the budget for Alminia. Thus, we chose Alminia for its lower cost.
Yeah, actually this makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
The optimal product mix for the three products was 500 toilets for the toilet sanitizer, 1,000 for the lotion, and 3,000 for the spray. This mix maximized the revenue to be 37,000 Egyptian pounds.
So guys, what method did you use to determine the product mix?
We were able to develop the constraints according to your available resources. Additionally, your marketing team has put a ceiling to the maximum number of lotions as 1,000 units and 3,000 units for the sprays. Using those constraints, we were able to come up with the optimal product mix.
Great. Now we would like to know who did you choose for the new supplier and why?
Taking the weighting score into consideration, we found that supplier 3 is the optimal choice.
What about the factory managers? How did you allocate them?
Well, the jobs were assigned as follows. Ahmed will be assigned to be a product manager, while Hazem will be assigned to be a safety manager. Also, Yunus will be assigned to be the maintenance manager, while Kareem will be assigned to be a quality manager.
What about the truck rotation? Which route did you pick and what was the total distance?
We figured out that the shortest route will be from warehouses 1 to 3, 3 to 7, 7 to 11, 11 to 14, and lastly from 14 to 16, with a total distance of 74 kilometers.
That's great. What about the approach of the ads campaign?
While your company wishes to determine the number of minutes the advertisements should be aired, thus on CMC we noticed that 4 minutes would be just enough, and for DNN 2.5 minutes would be great for advertisement. This would maximize the number of viewers for the ad to be 24,500,000 viewers.
Well, how did the break-even analysis affect your decision?
In location A, your company will break even in the second year. However, in location B, your company will break even in the fourth year.
Sounds just about right, Rowan. We used her break-even analysis along with the transportation cost, product mix, and the risk of corona spread to build a weighting factors table, which led us to the optimal solution for you, sir.
So, Mr. Khaled, the final and recommended decision for your company is El Safa in Asyut.
That's pretty convincing. Thank you guys for this.
I must admit that working with you was a great pleasure, and you are definitely the best team that we could have picked.
Thank you. شكرا.
لا بص له هو قولها له.
Good morning.
علي صوتك.
So why didn't you just go for a small meet?
Optimal product mix for the...
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Khaled. Good morning. To work with you. ما تتعرفش.